What's up, guys? Welcome to Talk Wrestling here on YouTube.com and, of course, NoDQ.com, your place for wrestling news as well as UFC news. I don't talk about UFC on the show, but it is a place to go for UFC news. Anyway, today's show is about a possible X Division in WWE. No, they can't call it the X Division because that's TNA's copyright, but can it happen? Telephoto USA sent in a couple of questions. He says, since the WWE now has more athletic younger guys like Nexus, Danielson, Caval, Bourne, etc., do you think a WWE version of the X Division is feasible, or do you think that they will just be used to shore up the mid-card ranks going after the IC and US championships? He also asked me if I was in charge of booking, how would I use Bryan and Caval? Do I see them as a tag team at some point? Honestly, let me answer your second question first. Bryan and Caval are better off with their own devices. Yes, it would be an awesome tag team to see the two greats from Ring of Honor, the two indie darlings as a tag team, but let's be honest, I prefer them on their own. Low-key, Caval, whatever you want to call him, has been so great on his own in the last 10 years. He's a tremendous athlete. He can do things I've never seen done before. He's just awesome. And to put him with somebody else, even Bryan Danielson, is a mistake. He needs to get away from Laycool, no doubt about that. But putting him with Bryan would be a mistake in booking. As far as Bryan tagging with somebody, Bryan is doing just fine on his own. He won the U.S. title at Night of Champions, so he seems to be doing just fine on his own. And I think tagging him up with Low-Key, or anybody for that matter, will be a mistake in booking as well. Bryan needs to be going after the U.S. or even the WWE Championships. As far as an X Division in WWE, maybe not a X Division, but, because they wouldn't call it that because that's not Vince's name, and Vince doesn't use anything that's not his own creation. He's proved that over the last few years, over the last better part of 20 years, to be honest with you. He's blown many opportunities with guys he's brought in, and that weren't his to begin with, and, maybe a division similar to X Division, like maybe the Cruiserweights division could be brought back. You could bring in guys from Mexico. They brought in Alberto Del Rio, who's not a Cruiserweight, but he's one of the biggest stars in Mexico. He could be, I think he may be Cruiserweight. I'm not sure. Rey Mysterio, of course, is always the general Cruiserweight. Caval, if the Cruiserweight division's on SmackDown, Caval could challenge for that title. Justin Gabriel, Heath Slater. Who's on season 2 of NXT? I don't remember. God, that's how much I pay attention to NXT season 2. Cabal won. That's all I remember. That was awesome. Alex Riley was on it. He's not a cruiserweight. Husky's definitely not a cruiserweight. Norris Cottonwood. They could bring in guys from Japan. I mean, Jushin Liger, even at his age, he's a legend in Japan. I'd love to see him work in WWE just for a show or two and to beef up that X Division that they bring into WWE, if they do a Cruiserweight division, whatever you want to call it, in WWE. I don't think, however, Telephoto, that a X Division is feasible in WWE, mainly because of what I said. It's not Vince's idea. It wasn't Vince's name. Vince didn't come up with it, so he won't properly book it, properly name it. Cruiserweight even wasn't Vince's name. That was Eric Bischoff and WCW's name. And look how well the Cruiserweights did over the course of whatever it was. WWE had it for 6 years. The last champion was Hornswoggle. Horn freaking Swoggle. They had a midget hold the title, or a leprechaun, whatever you want to call it. Come on, man. Cruiserweight title meant something in WCW when Rey Mysterio held it, when Billy Kidman held it, when Dean Malenko held it, when Chavo Guerrero held it, when Shane Helms held it. The Cruiserweight division in WWE was a farce and a joke. Yes, certain champions were credible. Rey, Chavo, Hurricane, Billy Kidman, I guess. The same guys from WCW. But they had Jacqueline hold that at one point. They had Chavo Classic hold it at one point. Funaki was a joke, and all of a sudden he's Cruiserweight champion. Come on. Paul London was one of the guys that did mean it. It mean something. Spike Dudley was a great Cruiserweight champion. I don't think at this point the Cruiserweight division is going to be brought back, or even the X Division. They've got enough freaking belts. They had to unify the women's belts just to get one less belt off TV. So, Oh, yeah, by the way. Those of you that think I hate Vince Russo completely just because he books TNA, that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say right there. I like Vince Russo. Vince Russo is a nice human being, but his writing leaves a lot to be desired. Okay? But Vince, if you're watching, Vince Russo, if you're watching, my friend, keep at it, man. TNA will get better. I have faith in you. I have faith in Hulk. I have faith in Eric. I have faith in Dixie. And WWE definitely will steal your X Division. Don't worry about that. But you guys got to beat your X Division your own. You got to beef it up, man. Who's the X Division champion now? Jay Lethal. Great cruiserweight X Division guy. Whatever you want to call him. I like Vince Russo. But more importantly, folks, I like you. So keep watching Talk Wrestling. Tell your friends to subscribe. Tell your mom to subscribe. Your mom's hot. Tell her to subscribe. Seriously. We'll see you next time.